now this went from just a crazy guy with a knife to now we got a crazy guy with a knife, maybe more weapons, and something that looks planned because he stole the only key to all the rooms around him.
What's good, YouTube?
Now today, I got a story time for you guys about the time I got stuck in a police standoff. Now, I've never done a story time before. I'm gonna try to do this as best as I can. I'm gonna tell you about this time where I got stuck in a police standoff, and everybody knows there's only one or two ways to see that. Either you're on the police side or you're on the bad side. Nobody wants to be on the bad side. I was one of the lucky ones to get to see that up close and personal, in the moment type shit, you know. But yeah, this all started because when I was a security guard for this one company, right? I won't name that company. For those of you that don't know, how security works is people make the joke about rent-a-cops when really that's the reality. Like it really is rent-a-cop. It's not really much we really can do. Ultimately, we're just there to be the people to call the police most of the time, to call for help when something goes wrong.
Wow. Them some heavy words, Paul Blood.
So when something pops off, there's not really much I can do, honestly. So when this situation happened, the place I was doing security for at the time, the way it worked, how the shifts worked there, it was always two guards on duty. One guard would walk for 2 hours while the other one sat at the desk for 2 hours. And then we would alternate every 2 hours, right? At this job, I had heard stories about my partner at this point, but I was kind of cool with them. So, I mean, they could have been true. I personally did not care. So the story was that my partner would always go up to the rooftop and smoke weed every shift. And I knew he did. He was a plug. So, I mean, I knew he did. So, I mean, this is our first day working one-on-one. Like, we're chilling, right? We're going to call this guard. We'll call him JD. I'm still kind of new. I've been at the job for about maybe 2 weeks now. I'm still learning the ropes of everything. But me and this other guy, we're the only two black people, so I'm not finna snitch. Like, I'm cool, bro. I smoke myself. I don't do it on the job. I do it at home. But I'm not gonna be the one to tell on him. You know what I mean? I'm not finna cost another black man his job. But so this particular day, he knew I knew. So he's going to his patrol first, which is what we call it when we're walking around for the 2 hours. He goes to his patrol first. He gets his weed out of his backpack and everything. He's like, you already know how it's going now. We're gonna call this guard. We'll call him JD. So JD is like, I'm like, yeah, cool, do your thing, man. I'm chilling at the desk. I don't have nothing against it. Like, do your thing, enjoy yourself. Like, we're all just here for the check. So I'm chilling at the desk. I'm about an hour in. I knew he went up to the rooftop to smoke. So I'm thinking like, this will be just like any other normal day, right? Nothing crazy is gonna happen. And I get a random call from the front desk. Hello? Security guard desk. They tell me a tenant, now mind you, the location I worked at was a hotel. But even though it was a hotel, they had private units inside for Airbnb. So the people that were renting through Airbnb had to check in with us at security. So they called me and they're like, a tenant has threatened the maintenance worker with a knife. Okay, so at this point in time, like I said, I've only been on the job for like a week, maybe 2 weeks now. I've only had to actually kick somebody off the like premises like once, and even then I'm a nice guy, so having to be mean to random people, I'm not usually the guy for that. But I mean, I can do it, don't get me wrong. I'm a big dude, I can do it, don't get me wrong.
Okay, tough guy.
And so in my head, I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do, right? So I'm like, okay, and they say the police have already been called. I'm like, okay, cool, my job's done. So what do y'all want me to do? They said they just wanted me to go up there and check it out. Okay, so I sit up, and as I look over the desktop in front of my desk, I see the police walking in right after I hang up the phone. Perfect. I don't have to do anything. All I gotta do is go up there and write my report. So I'm walking to the elevator with the police at that, and we get into the elevator awkwardly. The police ask me, so what's going on? I have no clue. So I literally tell them like, man, I was just told about this right at the same time you guys were getting here. So we're riding up the elevator, right? We get up to the 17th floor is where it was. We get up to the 17th floor and we walk out of the elevator and there's silence. There's no sound of any type of altercation. I was told that a maintenance worker was being threatened with a knife. So I'm thinking they're still arguing or there'll be still somebody here. There's nothing, not a soul in the hallway. No noise coming from any of the rooms. So me and the police we're both looking at each other like, what's going on? Like, and there's nothing happening here. So as we walk over to the unit, the cop asked me what the guy's name is. Now, going back, the guy was kind of sketchy. I'm not going to lie. He was at the hotel for at least like a week or so. Well, he was there since the day I started. So We've been at this hotel for the same amount of time. He moved in the same day I started, and apparently they had trouble with him in the past. So we always had an eye on him already anyway. So I already knew his name and everything like that. And the police asked me, they're like, what's his name? And they start knocking at the door, and we'll say his name is Jeremy, right? So the police is knocking at the door saying, Jeremy, can you come out? We need to talk. We just want to talk. And they tell me to go over to the other side of the door. Now, mind you, the way the door opens, it opens inside the room, not outside. So if he opens the door, he's standing on this side, right? Well, I guess I'll do it this way. He's standing on this side of the door. So the door opens like this. So if he were to peek out, I'm on this side, the police is on this side knocking. So if he peeks out, the first person he'll see is me. So at this point, I'm like, why do you want me to go over there? But okay. I walk over and the police is knocking on the door. Jeremy, we need to talk to you. We just want to talk. As they knock, next thing you know, we start seeing a clear liquid just being poured underneath the door. At this point in time, I've seen enough Law and Order and crime shows to know that there's chemicals that you shouldn't even smell because that's enough to take you out. I instantly hold my breath and I book it back to the other side of the door.
Not today. Don't try that.
Because you got me up. There is no way you want me to be the one to. I ain't signed up for all this. I come here to watch the cameras, be on my phone, play Xbox, and go home. So I book it to the other side of the door, right? The police are reaching for their guns and everything. Situation just gets a whole lot more serious. You know what I mean? It just went from we're just responding to a normal complaint to all of a sudden now we don't know, this guy might be trying to kill us all. You know, because like I said, it could be any kind of chemical. You know, we really don't know. We just see a clear liquid being poured underneath the door. So I'm hiding behind this wall. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't fucking with it. I was like, yeah, at this point it's above my pay grade. I ain't getting killed for nobody. I'm hiding behind this wall that's by the elevator, and police are all serious. It's like 3 of them, got their hands on their guns on their hips and everything, still calling his name, knocking on the door, trying to get him to come out. Next thing you know, we hear the elevator go off. Me, I know it's the elevator. To them, they just hear noise. Out walks JD, and all the police turn around like they're on edge right now. They almost shot my boy. They almost took my boy JD out for doing his job, right? For showing up. Mind you, remember I told you earlier in the story that JD had went up to smoke. So when they called me at the front desk, I called him and I let him know, like, look, we're going upstairs now. He goes, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm shitting right now. Oh my God. So not only is this shit going down, bro, but this thing is nowhere to be found. Top of it all, he walks in smelling like a fucking field of weed, bro. Bro walk in the room screaming and his mouth closed loud. So he's like, what's going on? I tell him basically what just happened. He's in disbelief, like, bro, there's no way. Bro is baked. His eyes are like this. You can't even see the white part. So he's already high as fuck. You know, like I said, the police are on the edge right now. As we're standing there, more police come up, right? And they come up, but these guys, these cops, they're a little bit different. They're in street clothes with riot shields and shotguns. But they're in street clothes. Like one of them had on like a pair of jorts and a tank top. The other one had like, they're dressed like fucking GTA characters, right? And they're still doing the same thing. Like they're knocking on the door. Jeremy, just come out, talk to us. Still no answer. About 3 hours passed by. At the time, like I said, I was new. I didn't know how to unlock the elevator. So I had to let JD be the one to go up and down. And we're on like the 17th floor. I had to let him be the one to escort all the cops up to the correct floor and make the elevator independent. So he's downstairs cooperating with things. I'm upstairs answering any of the questions the cops may have, layouts of the rooms and stuff like that, right? Like I said, we're about 3 hours in. I get a call. Now, mind you, I've been the one contacting JD. He hasn't been calling. So I get a call and it's my boss. They call and they ask me like, Brown, are you guys okay? Everything okay? What's going on there? I'm thinking that, like I said, I'm new. I'm thinking JD called him because he's been working with the company for a minute. No, they call me and I tell them what's going on and they're like, this has been going on 3 hours and you guys haven't called us? I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't know. I've been working with the police the whole time. So eventually about 2 hours later, so we're at like the 5 hour mark, right? SWAT shows up. Everything just got a whole lot more serious. SWAT shows up, kicking all the regular cops out. They're asking me questions about the layout of the rooms and everything. So I'm going off straight memory, because I've only been here a week, so I hadn't seen the inside of any of these rooms. So I've only seen this room once, or seen one like it. So I had to go off straight memory on drawing the layout of that room, right? Then the captain of the SWAT team starts asking me for access to the surrounding units. So the ones beside him or the ones above or below. Because at this point, they got to try to think of a way to infiltrate, right? Here's the kicker. So the room he was in, he managed to, like I said, he was banned from the hotel before and somehow he managed to rent again. Nobody knows how. Now the room he was in was a hotel unit. So we got a key card made for his room and everything, but there's steps and protocols they had to take before they could go into the room. So all the rooms around him were all Airbnb. So they're privately owned. The only keys are the owners of the unit, and there's one master key that the maintenance keeps on. And at that very moment is when we found out that earlier when he threatened the maintenance with a knife. He cut the lanyard off the maintenance man's keyring. So he has all the master keys to all the private units, including the ones surrounding, right? Now, this went from just a crazy guy with a knife so now we got a crazy guy with a knife, maybe more weapons, and something that looks planned because he stole the only key to all the rooms around him. And he's not answering the door for police, and now at this point he's not answering it for SWAT. So we come to face that dilemma like, okay, we don't have any of the keys to get it. We have to contact the owner. Mind you, we're in Hawaii. The owners could be, 9 times out of 10, they're not even here on the island. Owners could be anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. So we're trying to see how we can get keys to access those units. At this point, the SWAT already has a sniper across the street and a drone flying with heat recognition, looking into his room, trying to give us any type of information because we have nothing. While this is all going on, the SWAT team and police chief, or not police sergeant, start trying to recruit me mid situation, bro. Like out of nowhere, they just start trying to recruit me, saying they can tell I used to play sports, I'm a shoe-in. All for me to tell them like, no, I probably can't because of medical reasons and this and that and the third, right? They make me give them their number so they can text me. Still haven't heard anything back from him, by the way. I'm not gonna be the one to follow up. But back to the sniper. The sniper tells us he has barricaded the door with a chair and a few other things. So this guy's putting up chairs against doors like we're in a cartoon or something. Kid you not. SWAT decides it's time to test the liquid substance. Now, mind you, like I said, this is like hour 5.5. The liquid substance happened 5 minutes in. There's not gonna be anything there, and there wasn't. They tried to test and there was nothing to test. Why are we testing it so fucking late? To this day, I don't know what that substance could have been. They're gonna chop it up and say it was alcohol. After testing that, the captain calls down and says, okay, we're sending up the robots. Robots? What do you mean robots? So they send up robots, and next thing you know, you hear the elevator come. Out rolls this little Mars rover of a robot, probably about knee height. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cute. Like, that's cool. Like, what are they gonna do with that, right? It has like a little arm, a crane arm. Next thing you know, the elevator goes off again. This time out rolls a Mars rover, probably a little bit taller than me. And I'm like 6 feet even. Huge fucking robot. Some shit I've never seen before, bro. They rolled that out. I'm thinking, okay, that might be what, Jaws of Life type shit. Like, they might just have it for precaution. No. These guys walked out fully armored suit, just like SWAT Team 6 and Xbox controllers. So a little bit more time goes by. The robots are sitting on standby. They're still calling to the guy's name. We got, at this point, we're at each end of the hall. And I'm at, they have a Kevlar barricade put up and everything. 6 SWAT guys in front of me. I had an emergency exit behind me. The SWAT captain told me, he was like, you're good up here. Just, if we do manage to get him to open that door, I just need you to run out the door behind you. Other than that, you're fine up here. And most civilians don't get to see this up close. We ended up waiting another 4 or 5 hours, bro. At this point in time, I turned an 8-hour shift to 12-hour shift. Because I want to see that. I'm invested. I was here from the start. I want to finish it. You feel me?
Just got a job to finish.
So they get the green light to go inside. They break the door down, right? You got the battering ram. They got the robot. They ended up not even using the robot, which is the crazy. Well, no, I take that back. So what the robot's job was, I always wondered how in the movies or in the TV shows they were able to break down doors with all ass little metal battering ram, which I guess it makes sense because it's like solid metal. It's kind of dense. Still a door though, you know. But what they did was they took the rover robot, pried the door open. They got the door opened a little bit. Next thing you know, you hear a fucking flashbang, bro. They throw a flashbang in the room. After that, you hear a couple more grenades go off. Tear gas. Flashbang them and tear gas. So at this point, this man, eyes burning, can't breathe, can't see, can't hear. They completely disoriented this motherfucker, bro. Ran into the room, tackled him. By the time they got him downstairs, at this point, JD was gone. He had already clocked out and everything. By the time we get him downstairs, I got another partner. And I guess JD briefed her on while I was up there waiting. I come down, militarized looking white lady, right? All I hear is, got him. Got him? Bitch, you wasn't even here. I feel like that was a pretty nice experience. I wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, you only get to see that one of 2 ways. So stay tuned for more story times. I know this one probably wasn't as climactic as I planned it out, but you know, we're just getting started. I promise you guys every video is gonna get better after this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Check out some gameplay, make some recommendations. If you guys want to hear more stories, if you want to see different gameplay, I play a lot of different games on this channel. I want to do multiple things like vlog, stream, play games with you guys, all that. So definitely drop video recommendations down. I'm open to doing anything. All right guys, catch you later. Like, subscribe, you know the drill.